on board. We need to turn the fuel on, the electrics on, and then we're off. Oh yeah, and put the flag out. Absolutely gorgeous morning. It's 7:31 and 45 seconds. We've got an out, I don't know why I'm whispering. We've got an outgoing tide and it's going out quite rapidly. Unless I get out of this marina in the next 15 minutes, which is I think almost certainly I'm going to do, there won't be enough water at the entrance to get the boat over. So in the marina there is 3.3 meters, sorry 3.3 feet, but at the entrance it's probably going to be a bit less, so let's go a little bit faster. Let's see we can get over, and then we'll be out down the river with the tide, because the tide's going out, and the plan is we're going to go down the river and see if there's any fish. Did I hear a little bang then? I think I did, but we're here. Shouldn't have. I think maybe I was a bit too close to the edge. Try and hook up to this, which is easier said than done when you're trying to film. And it's just 5 to 8. It's a glorious day. It's a little bit windier down here than it was further up the river. That's not going to be a problem. I'll get my excuses out of the way to begin with. We're coming out at the lowest part of the tide. In about another half an hour, 3/4 hour, it's going to be like low water, and then the tide will start to come in again. So I've never fished this river at the bottom of the tide. One argument is if the river's not running as fast, the fish can smell the bait and see the bait more easily because there's not a lot of weed going through. The counter argument is that at low water all the fish scoot off down the river, and there's nothing here. So well, we'll give it a go and see what happens. So what we're using today is these are called ugly sticks. They're 12 to 20 pounds. There's a Penn Battle 3 5000 series reel. We've got 15-pound line, and we're going to be using a running ledger because I don't really want to catch small bass. Slightly bad news is that when I went to the freezer to get the squid out, I must have used more squid than I thought the last time I went out, and there isn't really a lot here. So I would normally have 2 rods out, each with a whole squid on. I think I'm going to have to be a little bit careful with the bait, so I might just have half a squid on each. And wouldn't it be just my luck that this is the day when the rays are around, the thornback rays are around, and they're all going, feed me, feed me, feed me. I'm just going to get baited up with some squid, and we'll talk again when the rod, well, not the rod's in the water, no, we don't want that, we want the bait to be in the water. So I'm just clipping on the 85 gram black weight. So now we've got this running there, and on this end we've got a, what is that, I don't know, 1/0 hook, and here's Mr. Squidly Diddly, and do you know what, I think I'm going to stick a whole one on. Hang the expense. Just a little flick. In the rod rest. Close the bail arm. Job's a good one. I'm just going to need to watch that line, because if it starts to, the angle starts to go like that, it means that the weight's not strong enough. In fact, I think what I'll probably do is on the next one, although I've got 3 rods here, I'm only going to use 2. On the next one, I think I'll put the yellow weight, same principle, running ledger, but with a yellow weight, and then we'll see which is the best one. So this second one, I've actually put 2 hooks on, so it's like a pennel rig, and I've whipped it on with elasticated thread, and now it's dripping all over the boat, which I probably should have used elasticated thread on the other one, to be honest, but I didn't. So we've got one which is the 150 gram yellow weight, and then we've got the other one which is the 85 gram weight, and literally it's only, the other one's only been out a minute or 2, so I'm not really expecting to have had any bites. So let's just get this one in the water. Right, let's get the tea on. Oh, here it is. I already have a cup of tea. Here's one I made earlier. Lovely day for it. Well, I've got 2 rods out. I've been fishing for at least 5 minutes. I haven't caught anything. I'm not sure this is going to be my day. Stay calm. It's a lovely day. Right, what's the depth and all that malarkey? Let's have a look. So we're in 7.7 feet of water. There's a few fish around, but they'll be all small bass. Water temperature is 21.86, and it's 8:21 and 49 seconds. Slow, no wash. Well, we can cope with that. We're not washing. Well, the bait's been out about half an hour, so I'm just going to bring them in and check them, because sometimes they get weed on them, and there's a little bit of weed on there, but there's been a bit of crab action on that one. I'm quite low on bait because I didn't bring enough. I just took what was in the freezer, forgetting that last time used quite a lot, so beggars can't be choosers, as they say. So we'll leave that one, see what's on this one. The first thing we notice is the line's got trapped. There we go, it's better. Yeah, look. Another lovely big bit of weed, but fortunately it's just on the stopper. It's not actually on the bait. So we've had a fishless hour here, and to be fair, that's probably to do with the fact that it's the bottom of the tide. But I think I'm going to move downriver, if for no other reason than if the fish have gone down with the tide. Logic suggests they might come back with the tide, so the further down the river I am, the earlier I'm going to meet the fish coming up the river. That's the theory. So I'm going to get the rods in. I'm going to get the mooring line in. In other words, I'm going to untie the us from the buoy, and then we'll head down the river. Well, you probably wouldn't believe it, but we have actually moved downriver. We're just above Waldringfield, and we're in about 5, 6, 7 feet of water. The boat is swinging a bit, which is why this rod here looks as though I've got a bite, but actually it isn't a bite, it's just a boat moving from left to right, and the weight in the water being dragged along through the mud. I think, yeah, that's what it is. So this one's got fresh bait on. So with both of them, what I've done is I put a whole squid on. Despite what I said about using the bait sparingly, I've put a whole squid on, and I've bound it on with elasticated thread, because the penny dropped that if you've got crabs eating it, the more elasticated thread you've got on within reason, they can't get to the bait with their nippy nippers. So it should make the bait or the squid last a bit longer. Well, we've been here about 45 minutes. I thought I had a bite at one point, but as it was happening on both rods, I concluded it was probably the boat moving. So I think it's time to move again. Look at that big boy. See what I did there? Right, let's head downriver to the other side of Waldringfield. I can't see over the steering wheel because I've lowered the seat to sit on. Right, start again. So we've just arrived at our third fishing location, which is the other side of Waldringfield. So Waldringfield is up there with the maybush and everything else, and we are down here. Very nice, but we want to catch a fish. It's now 10:15ish, and we're in 6 foot of water. And look at those fish! If indeed they do represent fish. So I'm wondering what I should be doing. Perhaps is bringing the bait up in the water to see if I can attract a bass. We'll give it a go. They might not be interested in squid, but we'll give it a go. Well, because it's a bit slow, and I've been up quite early, I've had a rummage around in the cupboards, and I've found this delicious pasta and sauce chicken and mushroom flavour, and bonus, it's only 2 years out of date. So I'm going to make a delicious snack for myself, but first of all I've got 250 ml of water and 100 ml of milk and 10 grams of butter in a saucepan. Well, I haven't got any milk, I haven't got any butter, and I don't know what 250 ml of water looks like. Is it a cup? I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be delicious. So not only is this a fishing video, it's also a cooking program as well. Have I got any water that's fresh? Oh, it doesn't matter, it'll taste fine. Well, I've just cooked myself a delicious meal of, can you see that? Oh, it smells, yeah, and why waste washing up? I'm just going to eat it straight from here. Oh, hello, is that a... Oh, by the way, I've moved again because there are these mooring buoys up and down the river. There's probably about 100 empty ones, and the one I was on, somebody came up in a big boat and said, would you mind terribly if we had our mooring back? What are the chances of that? Probably about the same chances of me catching a fish and the same chances as me not actually getting food poisoning from this. What it needs is some Parmesan cheese, some nice fresh bread, and throwing in the river. But I think I'm going to eat it. Well, a meal as delicious as that deserves to be washed down with a couple of glasses of tepid and slightly brown water that have been on the boat for probably just as long. All quiet. Well, as the fish aren't playing ball yet, the only things to do is actually eat. And the one thing I do have that is in date is my little stash of chocolate. I've got some rather melted Tunnock's tea cakes. I think I probably need to eat those, both of them. I have to, don't I, because they're melting. To be fair, it is 27 degrees in here and has been up to 30. All I can say is how that bass got a whole squid in its mouth, I do not know, but it did. And very annoyed it is too. And I still have my bait. And presumably, because it's been inside the bass's mouth, it's still got quite a lot of flavour left in it. Hey ho! Bass-tastic! Well, maybe this is a good sign. Time for a swig of tea.